how to start or expand your worm compost for $0. Here we're gonna start a new bin on the edge of my house here, right here. It's on the shady side of the house so they don't get too hot in the summer. And this bin is going to be open on the bottom so the worms can dig down in the winter to hibernate and survive the cold weather of the winter. So the steps to starting a new bin are these. First, you're gonna add dirt, a little bit of compost, a little bit of food scraps like you normally feed your worms, and then you're gonna wanna put your worms down. Then you're gonna wanna put more paper or leaves on top, and then you're gonna wanna wet it. Mix all this stuff kinda on the bottom, no particular order, and then put the worms in, and then add paper and leaves, and then wet it so that the moisture is high. Here we go. Here's our bin. It's gonna go long ways. Oh, it's perfect. So the spot is ready. Just gonna mix up this dirt a little bit. I'm gonna dig a little trench so it's in there a little more sturdily. Seems pretty good, eh? It's not going anywhere. These aren't even the guys that I'm gonna have. Mine are different. We're getting some neighbors. Quick call to the worm plug.
Hey, Will.
Hey, what's up? Are you busy? I just had a question. What should I...
The most closer to the nature.
Thanks, man.
Okay, Will. Bye-bye.
Bye. Worm knowledge. Time to add the ingredients. So what we need is some pre-compost. And there's this field by my house where a lot of people dump their lawn clippings and other stuff. So I'm just gonna collect some of it, use that. Pre-compost is just plant matter, yard waste that's been sitting out for a while. Starting to compost, starting to rot, but not fully decompose. Yeah. Sorry guys. I think that's enough for now. Let's go put it in the bin. Oh, and these leaves, yeah. That's enough for now. Fernando said to put down cardboard, like 4 layers or so on the bottom, if you're nearby a big tree or a big bush or something, because he did it and the roots from the big tree found the good soil because they got mega mined, and the roots of that tree started growing up into his compost bin. We don't really want that because we want to eventually collect the castings, right, to put in the garden or wherever. I don't really have a big tree nearby, so I'm not going to do that. Consider doing that if you have a big tree nearby. It should prevent roots from growing up into your bin. Time for some food scraps. You typically need to break up your food waste before you put it in the compost. So a good way to do that is to keep these in the freezer. These are just bags of food waste, shells, husks, rinds, etc. This was a head of romaine that was going bad. And a good way to break it up fast is take it right out of the freezer, smash it up. And I already kind of did this one, but you can see things are obliterated into a million pieces, and you didn't have to sit there and cut it up with scissors. Because when it's frozen, it's brittle. Strictly optional, but apparently peeing is good for them. Now we're adding the food scraps. You may notice how I'm only adding food scraps to one side. That's because I don't have enough worms to fill the whole bin. And I guess you want to give the worms a chance to test out one part. If they sense something wrong with the pH, they'll move to a different part that suits them better. This stuff's frozen, so I'm going to let it sit out for a while so it can be room temp by the time they eat it. This stuff has thawed, so now it's time to add the worms. Here's the bin I've been using. It was a gift from my friend. He just gave me a couple handfuls of worms, and I've been feeding this for a while, and I just wanted to upgrade to the bigger bin. They are going crazy on that corn husk. Yeah. So this might be not enough worms for this size bin. Like I said, we're gonna keep it on the side. Keep it on the side. They should populate the bin pretty quickly, just depending on how much food I give them. Look at all those busters. I think they're doing okay. This might have been a little wet for them, but I think they're okay. Just to recap, we got our dirt on the bottom. If you're doing this in a closed bin, you just add some dirt. Then we got our compost, which I didn't really have. Then we had the food scraps, the food waste. They have plenty of food to eat. And then you put the worms in, and then paper. I didn't put any paper. You don't need to, but you can if you want to. And then the leaves. For the last step, we're gonna water it. And then if I have the right cardboard today, I'm gonna put a big piece of cardboard on top of the whole thing. So that's enough water. For now, we're gonna go with this thing. That. I'm gonna remove all the tape you can. Looks good to me. We're ready for the final move. Put the lid on and we're good to go. And we'll certainly check back in a little while. 2-month update. Here's the bin. I gave it a nice white paint job and added this nice little handle. I just added all this junk yesterday, but here's a few of the busters. I don't know if it's normal for them to be climbing on the walls like that, but they seem okay. Here's what it looks like underneath. Hello, buddies. They're doing mighty fine. They've even started to expand over to this side. Look at them on the walls. I think they're doing okay. Every time I open it up, they're all over the new food I put in there. I even left them like 2 weeks. I went on vacation with no extra food or water for 2 weeks, and they've been doing fine. I've seen some mating. That means they should be making eggs and reproducing right on schedule. I add food once a week or every 3 or 4 days. Doesn't smell. They're doing just fine. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Good luck with your worms. See you later.